Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. UFC bet with me. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me. That's who. So I'm back. I'm going to be going over this week's card. UFC Perez, headlined by Saint-Denis, taking on, Money Moicano. And then co-main event by Nazanin Imavov, taking on Brandon Allen. Got some good fights to talk about. A lot of ways to make money on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys my picks. I'm going to give you guys my predictions. Then at the end of the video, stay tuned. I'm going to give you guys a parlay. But hey, let's talk about how we did last week. Well, the week before, the UFC Sphere. I mean, how'd you guys do? We went 7-3 on our predictions, man. Came through on a lot of dogs as well. But how'd you guys like the Sphere event, man? I actually bought it and, I watched it with my family. They liked the graphics, the storylines, and everything like that once the pay-per-view started to come on. So I'm not too mad about it, man. I will say, the first 3 fights that was on the pay-per-view were so entertaining. But the last 2 fights were so boring, man. Valentina Shevchenko just dominated, as we knew she would, plus money. And then Merab, I should have just stuck with my first gut. You know what I mean? But Merab just dominated Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley didn't even look like himself at all, man. But we hit, man. We hit with Esteban Ruviec, Norma Dumont, Lazy Rodriguez. We had a lot of good spots, man. We did lose some money with Manuel Torres, though. But hey, man, that's last week. This is all about making money this week. So let's go ahead and get it started, man. The first fight of the night, they ain't taking no time. They got us, getting off with a good fight. And a good fight with good gambling odds, depending on who you guys like in this one. Because you got Chris Duncan opening up the underdog, 11-2, taking on Barz in this one. Barz, Belgium fighter, okay, 1-0 in the UFC, made his debut on the UFC Dana White Contender Series, got the knockout, then got the split decision over a up-and-coming fighter named Gawamba, okay. On there, I wasn't too mad at his performance, but a lot of people thought that he was going to be able to win inside the distance. He still got the job done. In this, his opponent, Duncan, he's been on a tear in the UFC. I want to say it's like 3-1 in the UFC. Coming off a loss against Manuel Torres in the spot that we had him in, because we thought that he would be able to use the takedowns and get him taken down to the ground. But he didn't, man. He actually got subbed in that one. I'll be honest, man. I go back and forth with this whole fight, man. And, the odds at -190 for Oki and Chris Duncan being at an underdog, I like those odds, right? Because I do think there's a path to victory for Chris Duncan. If he can get the wrestling going and the takedowns, this can be a whole different fight. But Oki does have good takedown defense. So let's just say if he doesn't get you down to the ground, if we're just on the feet striking, I think Oki might just get him touched, because this is why Chris Duncan throws these low leg kicks. When you throw these low leg kicks, you're not really preparing for what's up top because you're more focused on what's on bottom. So with that being said, man, I think Oki's going to get it done in here. -190, nothing I'm too highly, clouded about to go to the window with or anything, but the pick is going to be Oki in this one. Next one we got, man, Jacqueline Calante, 7-1. She's opening up the -190 favorite, taking on Nora Cornwell. All right, man. So she just took this fight on like 5 weeks' notice, right? Coming off of a win in her last time out in the cage, in the spot that we had her in. This is a rematch, folks. Both these women fought already earlier on in their career. And when they did, Jacqueline was piecing her up, man. She got the better end over then, and I think she's going to be able to do the same thing now. Nora Cornwell, man, she got the decision in a fight that a lot of people thought she lost against Jocelyn Edwards. I was one. She's going to be the Perez fighter fighting in her backyard. But I don't think that's going to be enough in there, man. I like what I see from Jacqueline Calante, and I think right now she might be on that tear of, hey, let me be the next Lupe Godinez as far as like, hey, I'll take a fight, and I'll take a fight. And it seems like she might have a recipe to already beating her because she already beat her once. -190, I will say, I do like Jacqueline Calante to win in the 3rd round or decision, but her to win by decision is -130 in this one. And I also like the fight to go over 2.5. The fight should go the distance in this one. Next fight taking place, back and forth flyweights. All right, man, we got Daniel Barz, 16-6, taking on Victor Morano. All right, so this line flipped, man. Victor Morano was once the underdog. Now he's a slight favorite, like -120 in here, okay? Victor Morano got the short end of the stick in his last fight out to where he was using his wrestling, he was using his takedowns, but the judges didn't give it to him. They didn't think it was enough. Daniel Barz, we haven't seen him in a long time. The reason why is because, man, he had some accident that happened or something like that, to where, you know, he couldn't fight. Something happened to his face or something like that. So he's been on the sideline, actually, you know. And before that, he did have a fight against Fiallo, in a fight to where he had him drop down, but Fiallo came back and subbed him. So he's 0-1 in the UFC, okay? And this one, I'll be honest, man, I like Morano, man. I like the way that he goes for the takedowns. I like his activity. And I like the fact that he didn't get that win last time out, and he was on his game, right? And he was at like 85%. He might have took the pedal off maybe a couple of minutes in maybe the second or third round, right? With that being said, I don't think he's going to do that now. So I think he's going to go out there and try to put on a way more dominant performance on Perez, who hasn't been, you know, fighting in the cage as active. But the power, the striking, got to go to Perez in there. You know, if it stays on the feet, he can catch him, you know, and, you know, maybe even use his takedowns too a little bit in here. But I like the activity. I like the cardio. I like the durability. And at that minus 115 price tag, I could definitely get to the window with Morano this week. All right, next fight taking place, man. Aileen Perez, 10-2, taking on Daria Shalakova. All right, Daria made a UFC debut last time out. Big favorite against a fighter named Rondona. The fighter that she fought was just like a grappler who just, you know, uses takedowns. And guess what she did? She used those takedowns and she had her down to the ground. A lot of people thought that she was about to lose the fight because she was wasting minutes on her back, not doing what she can do on her feet striking, right? But the judges gave it to her. Aileen Perez, minus 240 on the books in here, man. She's been surprising, you know, in her fights. She's been going out there and getting the win. She's a aggressive fighter that always likes to come forward. She likes to get the takedowns. Her striking is not good at all. But this is the thing. Once she gets you down to the ground, she just needs to man up and give you some elbows, give you some ground and pound. Do something, you know, woman up. There you go. But she doesn't. She kind of just holds you there and keeps you down to the ground. And this one, I think Aileen Perez should be able to get the job done in here. At that minus 260 price tag, though, that is a little scary. Women's MMA is hard, man, to just parlay that and feel comfortable, especially at a minus 260. But I do think Aileen Perez gets it done in this one. All right, next fight taking place. Big favorite, Taylor Lapis, 20-4, taking on Vince Morales. Minus 300 on the book for Taylor Lapis. Vince Morales is back in the UFC. Oh, man, this guy, he just pulled off a crazy Darce choke, you know, against Hunter Azure in a fight in the organization in Arizona. And then, you know, he's been putting on some more wins in the local regional scene before that. Now he's back, okay? And I think he's a talent that could fight amongst the UFC fighters, okay? With that being said, I like Taylor Lapis in this spot, man. Overall, I like that he's coming off a win against Cody Stamann. He's 3-1 in the UFC, only lost against Basharat in the fight that he was just taking down, relentless. Taylor Lapis is going to have the hometown crowd back behind him. Smart fighter, fight IQ, I give him an A. Striking, I give him a C. Resume, I go with the C+ as well. Cardio, I go with the B. Overall, I like Taylor Lapis to get it done in this one. All right, next fight taking place. But before we do that, man, I need you guys to smash the like button for me, man, because we're coming off some good performances for you guys, man. And then, you know, all we need is likes and comments. So go ahead, man. Let me know, man. Hey, who's your baseball team, man? Y'all know who I'm rocking, man. It's all about the New York Yankees, but don't trip. I always rep my other team, the Atlanta Braves, man. Now look. Okay, how you have two teams? How you have two? We just doing new things. Been a fan. All right, man. Let's go. Next fight taking place. Ludovic Klein is gonna be taking on Roosevelt Roberts. Why am I gonna waste your time? Ludovic Klein is a minus 1,000 favorite. Roosevelt Roberts is a fighter that's been in the UFC, cut from the UFC, on the Ultimate Fighter. Now he's back in the UFC. I think Ludovic Klein wins inside his distance. Minus 190 is what I've seen on the books. Get to the window with that one on that look. Next fight taking place. Omar C taking on Dao Woon Jung. Omar C 10-0. Man, this is a hype prospect for the light heavyweight division, man. Made his UFC debut and won inside the distance. We had to play on him then. Dang mind you, he's like 0-4 in his last couple of fights, or 0-3. I don't know, man, but he's on a losing streak, okay? Omar C opened up a minus 450, minus 400. Now he's up to like a minus 600 favorite. Oh, man. Daeyoung Jung is a good fighter, man. Like, he is. But it just seems like once he lost, he just kept losing, and the ties start turning off and the wheels start churning and everything like that. And maybe the confidence is lost. Maybe, I don't know, man. But in this one, I like Omar C to win inside the distance. This is how you take a -600 favorite to a -160. Take Omar C to win inside the distance. I'll play that out of -160. Meet me at the window and let's get paid. All right, next fight taking place. Calaba, 17-10, taking on Ivan Arslan. All right, newcomer signing. That's Iran Arslan. Man, first fighter that we've seen from the KSW scene as of late that I know of. Okay, explosive striker in here. One thing that I noticed about him in the KSW scene, he's been around there for a while, and he actually been good and beating good people. He fought for the belt twice, didn't get it though. But just to know that you've been able to fight for the belt twice and been in that top of the division, that's something right there. Calaba on the other side, this dude ain't never been in the top 10. I doubt if he's been in the top 15. I mean, I don't even know if he's been in the top, like, sparring partners in the gym. All right, look, man. But the OVO fighter, right? Well, check it out, man. As of right now, the Lions got it as a pick-em in there. Why? Because he might have the upside if he can use the wrestling and the takedowns, but he's a wild, reckless fighter, and he's not really a light heavyweight. He used to fight at middleweight. Now he just fights wherever and however he can. From what I've been seeing and hearing too, man, like, he's not even training no more out here in the States. He's out there with his partners out there where he lives at. So who knows about, the work regimen that he's getting in. On the other side, you got a guy making his UFC debut. And it's, when people go out there in that first fight, they usually try to put their best foot forward. And this is not nothing on short notice. He's been preparing for it. So you got all the time to prepare. And we're not seeing you in the United States where they can test and do all this other stuff. We're seeing you out there in Paris. I know what I've seen out of Ian Calaba before. I only seen tape on Ivan Arslan. But the pick is going to be Ivan Arslan, man. I mean, Ian Calaba is just so untrustworthy, man. It's just so untrustworthy, man. So the pick's going to be Ivan Arslan in this one. All right, next fight taking place. We got a good one, man. This one's taking place on the main card. Perez, 15-4, taking on Matt Frevola. Perez, this line flip, man. We had Matt Frevola, a slight favorite, about a couple of weeks ago, -120. Now we got Perez, the -125, -130 favorite in there. Reasons why it warranted. 3-0 in his last couple of fights. Gonna be fighting in Paris, France. Gonna have his crowd behind him. Judges probably too. Everybody rooting for him. But this is a guy that goes out there and doesn't really put on the performances that you want to watch. And when you're betting on him too, sometimes it's a smart bet because you're like, all right, he's not going to make a mistake. But he's not just going to pull that trigger, man. On the other side, you got Matt Frevola, and this guy's going to pull that trigger. He going to come out here. He going to swing on you. He going to take you down. He's trying to finish you. He say, yeah, we're going into fight. It's a fight. Matt Frevola always surprises people as an underdog. We played him a lot of times over here. Got a couple of interviews with him, out there on the internet as well, too. So, I know a lot about this guy. He trains his fighting camp. I got to give him an A, man. He's over there training with Marab, Aljamain, and all the accredited fighters at Sarah Longo and Ray Longo and stuff like that. His cardio, I got to give him a C+. His wrestling, I give him a B. His finishability, I give him an A. His striking, I give him a B. All right, overall, I like Matt Frevola in this spot. I think that he can get the wrestling, okay? I think that Siam's been taken down more times than Diddy posts as of late. What do you mean by that? Man, he's got taken down like 7 or 8 times in his last fight against Claudio Polaris. He's got taken down in like every single fight that he's fought in the last 4 times, I want to say, okay? And, I just think Matt Frevola, if he takes him down, it's going to be, vicious ground and pound. So give me the dog odds, man. I'm going with Matt Frevola in this fight. I will tell you guys this, though. I was like, it took me all week to kind of make this decision. This is not nothing I made the decision right when the fight was announced. I was looking a little bit on the Zion side, a little bit. And, just because sometimes Matt Frevola, once he gets hit, it doesn't take a lot to drop him. He can get dropped off of like one hit, right? But any fighter can, But with that being said, I like Matt Frevola in this spot, okay? But I will tell you guys, though, I mean, the price on either of these fighters at this amount right now, it's not bad, okay? So I'm not one of those guys that just gives you guys one way to get paid. If you guys are looking at Siam and betting them, All right, yeah, you guys definitely got a path to victory in there too. Especially you know, just having the hometown fighter always helps you a little bit in there too. All right, next fight taking place, man. This is gonna be a good one, man. Morgan the Pirate Charriere is gonna be taking on Gabriel Miranda. All right, man. Morgan Charriere, man. This guy's like a -800 on the books. Opened up like around a -500. Gabriel Miranda. He's a good guy when he won't win, but he can't trust him, okay? Morgan Charriere, I think is gonna be able to get the job done in this one. His inside the distance props at like -160. That should be the way. He's an overall good fighter, man. I've been watching this guy's fight since Cage Warriors, way before he came over here to the UFC. I'm talking about like 2019 or something. So you know, the losses on his record, they're warranted, but they're all not like unanimous. They're all split. And then you got a few draws, and they're split. And then, you know, so this is the thing. As a favorite and as a fighter, you want him to win, and you think he's going to win because he's supposed to win those fights. But this is a fighter that a lot of people like just because his popularity and his fame kind of got bigger than his fighting skills. What I mean by is he went viral way back in the day for in his hometown for like making this guy lose a lot of weight through. Never, we ain't here for that. All right, man. But back to the fight, man. I think Morgan Charriere does get it done in here, but there's no way I'm telling you guys to bet anything that's a -800 on the price tag. If you guys want a way to get paid, take him to win inside the distance. I think it's -160. If you guys want an inside the distance parlay, take Morgan Charriere inside the distance and Omar C. Meet me at the window and let's get paid. We. All right, man. Look. MMA locker room here. We got a good one coming up now. We got Bryan Battle, 10-2. Opened up at -160, all the way up to a -180 on some books. Taking on Kevin Jousset, 10-2. Records the same. 2-0 in the UFC, Kevin Jousset is. Coming from the city kickboxer, man. Perez fighter, though, in this one. So he's going to have the crowd behind him, man. I like this guy, man. He's articulate when he fights. He's smart. He won with me against Crossman. He won against his other opponent, too. But this is the thing. He's going to have a tall task, man. This is a real levels fight, man. Bryan Battle on the other side, he's been as advertised, man. We've been getting to the window with him and getting paid. And I just got to let it be known. I already bet Bryan Battle out of -160 in here, okay? I think he's the more overall better fighter. I think he's has more paths to win. I think he can use his range, use his distance, stay on the side. And, hey, his submissions, jiu-jitsu skills is top tier, too. He can win inside the distance. His last 4 fights, finished all of his 4 opponents, not even in the same way. I mean, all different ways. Like, so that's something that you want to see. It's not a one-trick pony. It's not, oh, he knocks you out with a left hook. Oh, he knocks you out with only a submission or a head kick or something. Or he only has this one guillotine thing like GM3. No, man. He finished his last 4 opponents 4 different ways. I think he's dangerous in this one too. But I got to give both these guys their credit. And it was hard for me to really get to the window first. Because I do think the line is off. I don't think the price is right. I think the price is right as Jousset, to be honest with you guys, okay? But it's one of those things to where I've been making money with Battle and I haven't lost. And at that -160, when it first opened up, I was like, all right, cool. You know, -185, I start thinking and looking at it like, damn, I'm glad I bet that already. But because it's one of those things. Kevin Jousset is a good fighter. I think he could give people problems in this division. The reason why he has judo, okay, for the division, and he can do some mean hip tosses on people and stuff like that. But this is the thing. Is he a relentless wrestler? No. That's the only problem that Bryan Battle faced so far in the UFC against Ronald Fakardinov. With that being said, man, I don't think this fight goes the distance, man, because I think both these guys going to come out there and turn up. Bryan Battle is going to come out there and expect to win. Kevin Jousset is going to come out there and expect to win. Yeah. Good fight, man, but I gotta go with Bryan Battle, man, to get me some money. Yeah, let's go ahead, man. Let's bring it home, Brian. All right, man. Next fight taking place: Joanderson Brito, 17-3, taking on William Gomes. All right, Joanderson Brito opened up a -260 all the way up to a -300. Explosive, dangerous fighter. Finished Jack Shore, I want to say, in his last time out. Finishes a lot of his opponents out there. He's a powerful force of a fighter, okay? He's always coming forward like a tank, okay? Submission skills is top tier, and his striking is there. But as the rounds go, he slows down. William Gomes, man, this guy has some smooth striking, man. You know, he's not going to be the type of fighter that you guys are used to seeing out there. If you think he's just going to give you the fight that you want, he's not. With that being said, man, I like William Gomes in this spot. The reason why is this. That footwork of William Gomes, he's going to hit, move. Hit, move. Back foot, move. Strike, move. He's not going to be coming forward. Jordan Brito is used to coming forward, letting him strike, right? Williams Gomes is known for being on that bike and striking, man. 3-0 in the UFC, and I've been getting to the window with him in these fights as well. Brito, I liked him in a couple of spots too. But in this one, I gotta go with William Gomes, man. I actually just think that he can win a decision. Make it hard. If you're not in the range to be hit, you can't be hit. All right. So like a best defense can negate a good offense. All right. So with that being said, I like the dog money, and I just like the fight, man, of William Gomes style. Like I said, he has some of the smoothest striking out there I've seen. It's like a blend of taekwondo, karate. And man, like he puts it together, you know what I mean? And yeah, let's go ahead and cash it, man. William Gomes, let's go ahead and bring it home, man. Let's go. Next fight taking place. Co-main event, man. We got a good one. Brandon Allen taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Nasruddin Imavov's the favorite, -220. Gonna have the hometown crowd behind him, man. He's been on a tear in the UFC, coming off a win against Jared Cannonier. But man, Brandon Allen's like 7-0 in his last couple of fights in here, man. He's been putting on performances over good fighters in here. His path to victory is to get the wrestling going, be on the front foot, make Nasruddin Imavov be on the back foot. But if he doesn't, Nasruddin Imavov is going to be on the foot forward, and I think he could actually get the takedowns too. I was going back and forth with this fight. I started off with Brandon Allen. I think I even told somebody on a podcast yesterday. Brandon Allen, I'm all in. B. Allen. As of today, I'm sorry, folks. I'm on Nasruddin Imavov, man. This sniper's good, man. And I think it's his time right now. I think he's going to really pepper up Brandon Allen. And I think if he goes to the body, he can even win inside the distance. And I think the takedowns will be there for Nasruddin Imavov as well. So give me Nasruddin Imavov, man. Next fight taking place. Juan StDenis taking on Renato Moicano. Man, Juan StDenis, this card is like placed around him, man. This is their guy, okay? This is the guy that was supposed to be technically probably fighting for the belt after this if he would have got past Dustin Poirier, but he didn't. He's coming off a loss against Dustin Poirier in a fight to where, he had him out, but he just, phased out. Supposedly he had staph infection. In this one, Moicano's coming off a win against my guy Jalen Turner in a fight that where Moicano got dropped, and Jalen Turner walked off and put up his hands and thought he won. And he didn't. And Moicano came back next round and took him down and ground and pound and won. All right, Moicano's been on the tear too. The dog money on him is enticing, but I got to go with Juan StDenis. I think he has a path to victory in here. He's vicious, and once he strikes you, he goes for the kill. And Moicano, he gets hit and he gets rattled and shook multiple times. So I don't even think this one's going to the third round in this one. Give me Juan StDenis to get it done. All right, man, I got 2-team parlay to get you paid. Give me Juan StDenis and Nasruddin Imavov. All right. Millz Young here. MMA Locker Room here. Pick Dawgz. You already know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, so you know every single time we go live. UFC bet with me. See you guys next week.